uh, anything that or experiences that I've had through my home life, it's very important to share them over to my students as well. And this image got selected and got exhibited all around the world, got published in Italy with Poster Heroes. It got also published in a book with Saikara Books as well. And it was published in a book, Poster Power, by Teresa Taratsvich. It was published in one of the poster was published in that book, which was really, really amazing. And then in 2020, I received an email from Greenpeace, and they contacted me in order to make a license agreement with Santiago Peralta for his poster Solution Pollution. So they end up buying that work for a campaign that the Greenpeace did. And here is the image. They changed it slightly, but again, they bought the rights to the design, so they could basically change it and adopt it whatever way that they see fit. But here you can see it as a sticker. They made tattoos, they made stencils on the floor, they made banners. And that's the thing is with a poster, it's not necessarily only something that needs to be printed on paper. It can also be other materials as well. It can be stickers, it can be stencils, it can be other types of materials that can be adapted to augmented reality and other types of processes, like motion posters are very popular right now. So yeah, this was great that during a difficult time in 2020 that Santiago and his family got a bit of resources for one of the projects that he actually made 7 years ago. Here's a quick video that Greenpeace did. So this is the next change that happened was a work that I made for based on the topic of safety against violence in 2015, and this was the graphic that I made. Basically a simple safety pin, and then in this case the gun going into that pin to showcase that safety is one of the most important things that we need to do for society. And I try to make something as really iconic as possible. And then this was converted into a series where I got obviously a knife and also other elements such as a barbed wire to really communicate that message that we need safety against violence in general in our society. And then people started to go crazy with this. It all kind of become like a trend online where I'm going to take a selfie with this image. So I started receiving all these emails and tags on social media and things of people tagging me with that image. The people actually started printing it at their home and then sending it to me with their selfie in their hand and stuff. And just people started all around the world sending me their photos with the safety against violence design. In 2015, I started a project called the Ecuador Poster Biannual, and this was an amazing project. And this is the most important thing. One of the most important things I learned is that graphic design is not only or all about myself, I guess. What I learned in this project is that the best things that you can do, or the best thing you can do as a society, is when you do things for other people. And I started this project in 2015, and the idea was I had a couple of years in Ecuador, and I wanted to give something back to the country for being so welcoming to me whenever I arrived to Ecuador in South America in 2012. So I launched this project. It was a big, it was difficult at the start, I would admit, but then after a while the country adopted it and they made it their own, and it became very special. We received 42,000 posters with 733 from 84 countries in the 4 editions that we did. It was a competition that was internationally recognized all around the world. Here's some photos of the national exhibitions that we had. The top left one is an exhibition which had 800 posters in it, and then the bottom ones are a wee bit smaller exhibitions. The top right is Woody Pirtle of Pirtle Design, which I mentioned a wee bit earlier, one of the best graphic designers in the world, who founded a Pentagram in New York. And we also had international exhibitions in Chile, in Argentina, in Poland, in France. And it was amazing to share the talent of Ecuador and all around the world into an international audience. And we also published the catalogue, the books of the Ecuador Poster Biannual in 2016, when they had the first edition, 2018, and also 2020. And it was amazing as a project when it was a small team that made the project, but it was unbelievable how the students came in every edition and started becoming part of the project. And they learned so much in terms of how a project is organized. They understood a lot of aspects in terms of how to mount or set up an exhibition, or all these other different skills that they learned that they necessarily didn't know before. But it's unbelievable how the students connected to the project, and they actually end up being part of the team later on as well. And I love this quote from Helen Keller, which she mentioned, alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much. And that's really, really important. So many times graphic design, we just think of what we can do on our own. But trust me when I say this, when you team up with your other colleagues and the other students that you have in your class, you team up together, you can make something a lot better, a lot stronger, a lot impactful. Get into groups, make projects together. It's an unbelievable thing, because the Ecuador Poster Biannual could not be possible if I only did it myself. There was a team, a small team, that had different skills and different abilities that all made the project unique and special. This was a graphic that I made in 2019 called Family, and this was made by Nicholas Troxler in Switzerland. To collaborate with him was an absolute honor. He's a master of the poster, just a wonderful person as well. And that's the thing, is the way this happened was super weird. I just said on my Facebook, does anyone want to collaborate and make a poster together? And who popped up in the comment section? Nicholas Troxler. And I was like, what? Okay, send Nicholas Troxler a message, and then off we went. Right? That's the great thing about sometimes social media. Sometimes in life you just need to go for it, right? If I never sent that message, who wants to collaborate with me to make a poster, Nicholas Troxler would not have collaborated with me to make that image. So sometimes you need to ask questions, right? There's nothing better whenever I'm in a class and the students are asking me questions. They're curious about what I'm showing to them, and they're interested in, they're asking questions. Why is this good? Why is that bad? How could this be better? And things like that. Curiosity is one of the most important things as a graphic designer. Why? Why is this way? Why is that way? Number 10, different points of view, which was a graphic that I made in 2019. And this was for the Tolerance poster project, which obviously tolerance is a very important area. And I made this typographic poster that got converted into other colors as well. And it was basically a typographic image which showed the different perspectives of typography, obviously with using the word tolerance. So it's different points of view, different perspectives on tolerance, which obviously is very, very important. And thanks to Mirko Ilic for inviting me to be part of this project. There was, I think it's 100 or people were invited, and they're keeping on adding them day by day. But it was an unbelievable experience to be invited alongside Milton Glaser and Paula Scher and all these wonderful designers. To be sitting beside them, obviously it was a great honor. And so far it's been exhibited to more than 400,000 people from in 40 countries and 143 exhibitions all around the world. And then one of the latest things that happened in my life happened in July last year, which was the change from Ecuador to the USA. And this obviously was a big change for me and my wife. It was happened in July of last year, and it changed everything in terms of the projects that I was doing, in terms of the projects that I'm going to do, which I'm going to mention in a wee bit. But yeah, it was definitely one of the biggest changes that I've had in my life so far. In last year, I also made this graphic, a correct bubble, and I mentioned this project before, Poster for Tomorrow. Everyone should check that project out. It's really awesome, Poster for Tomorrow. And I've been participating in this project since the very beginning in 2009, which was the Freedom of Speech poster. And this was the first time that I got selected in the top 10 from, I think it was 7,000 entries from all around the world. And I got into the top 10, which was a very big surprise to me, to be honest. And the topic was say the right thing. And I used a simple graphic of the speech bubble, but then put the tick sign at the bottom of that image to say the right thing. And I was selected in the top 10 for a Poster for Tomorrow in 2022, which was a big, big surprise to me, to be honest. 13, sharing the message, which has been an ongoing from 2008 to the present. And I've been so fortunate to have been invited to give conferences all around the world in such countries as Ecuador, and China, Mexico, Indonesia, Chile, USA, Venezuela, and obviously now it's a great honor to be here in Dubai to give a conference to you all. But yeah, I've been very fortunate, and it's very important for me to share that message of the importance of graphic design for society. And this is the latest project or change that's going to happen in my life that's been in the works since May of last year, and it's called the USIPB, which is the United States International Poster Biennial 2023. And this is the first time I'm ever showing this image. This will launch in this year, in February 2023. It's going to be one of the most important projects that I've ever done. And it's going to be with a very committed team, a small but very committed team in the USA, working day by day to make something very special for graphic design and for the poster internationally. So you can, the project will be launched on the 6th of February, which is very, very soon. The website, where you'll be able to go check it on, check the categories, and check the project in general. We're going to do a workshop for a couple of hours later on this evening, and the workshop will be connected to the United States International Poster Biennial. So I welcome everyone to participate in the project that we're going to launch in the next week, okay? A poster cannot change the world, however, it can change the world of a person. And I think that's very, very great quote from David Jimenez, which is completely correct. I remember I did a workshop in Ecuador, and one of the persons that were in the event walked past the image that the student made, and the person started to cry. So a person can have one single image or one poster can really change the life of a person. There's 3 stages to visually receiving a poster. First, they see it, then they feel it, and then they think about it. Right? So these are 3 things that you should be thinking about when you're making any type of poster or social poster in general, okay? A good poster is a punch to the eye. A good poster is a dagger to the heart. A good poster is a question for the brain. Design is not a part of life. Design is life. Thank you very much.
Okay, we go ahead with the last keynote speech now. So, as Dugan has mentioned, we are all different, but we are targeting on the same point, with the different tools, with the different meanings, and I do believe doing like this, we are accomplishing our target and our aims and goals. So this is why each one of us has addressed a different thing in a different way, and he tried to inspire future generations with the new ideas, with the new experiences, and to pass the message that we are having to the future generations. So my topic is going to be about the confluence of text and image in visual art and design. I am a little bit expanding the topic so that I'm including the art, because from the beginning it was the image. And we communicated with images, but how we create image and how we combine image with the text in any product of design, this is the most important thing. So the relation of text and image in art and visual communication is a complex and a dynamic. It requires a deep understanding of design principles, communication strategies, visual elements, and the target audience. All these, the components of any work of art, any work of design, we need to put them together in order to achieve this goal and this message. So this confluence of text and image in visual communication refers to what? It refers to incorporating both written language and visual elements into a design in a way that is visually appealing, easy to understand, and supports the overall message or goal of the design. So there are two lines or two narratives or two scenarios that we are having in design. Either telling the story through the text, through the verbal language, or we tell the story through the visual language, or through both of them. So we're using two languages and two these possibilities to do it. So the merging and integrating of written word and graphic design to create a single cohesive message is very important. When done well, it can result in a powerful, impactful, and memorable visual experience and communications that can drive engagement and achieve desired results. The combination of text and image can be used to reinforce and amplify each other's, as we mentioned. They go together, creating a more powerful and impactful visual communication. This is particularly true in the fields such as graphic design, advertising, and packaging design, where the goal is to grab the attention of the viewer and communicate information in an aesthetically pleasing and effective way. Effective use of text and image in visual communication and in art requires careful consideration of the relationship between these two elements and their placement, the composition itself, the use of of the typography, selection of colors, and other design elements that are going to be part of the composition itself. This can include issues such as finding the right balance between text and image, ensuring that the text and imagery complement each other and do not compete for attention. So the equal proportion of the visual and the written message need to be incorporated together in this regard, and making sure that the text is legible and easy to read. Effective use of both words and images in design can enhance the overall message and make it more impactful. Again, the relation between image and word has a long tradition that began with the ancient manuscripts. But since the beginning of the 20th century, with the artistic